Hi friends, in this video lecture we are going to learn some problems based on oblique impact. In the class we have seen what is in oblique impact and what are the velocities produced by oblique impact when two smooth spheres are in pinches, and we have found the loss of kinetic energy also, right? Now we are going to see some basic problems based on the things which we learned in the class. Okay, so the first problem is a ball of mass 8 grams moving with velocity 4 centimeters per second impinges on a ball of mass 4 grams moving with the velocity 2 centimeters per second. If their velocities before impact be inclined at an angle 30 degree and 60 degree to the line of joining their center at the moment of impact, find their velocities after impact when E is equal to half. Okay, once again read the question carefully. They have given that there are two spheres, right? Two balls. The first ball is of mass 8 grams. So I am considering this as a ball 1. Okay, this is my ball 1 and this is ball 2. So they have given a ball of mass 8 grams. So the first ball is of mass 8 grams. Okay, and with moving with velocity 4 centimeter per second. So we consider this as a initial velocity. So initial velocity we usually mention that as u1, right? So u1 is equal to 4 centimeter per second impinges on a ball of mass 4 grams. That means it impinges with another ball which has mass 4 grams. So the mass of the second ball is 4 grams. Okay, moving with the velocity 2 centimeters per second. So the velocity of the second ball is 2 centimeter per second. If their velocities before impact be inclined at an angle 30 degree and 60 degree. So we have mentioned these degrees in terms of alpha. So alpha 1 is 30 degree and alpha 2 is 60 degree. Okay. So alpha 1 is 30 degree and alpha 2 is 60 degree. To the line joining their centers at the moment of impact. Find their velocities after impact when E is equal to half. They have given E is equal to half. So when E is equal to 0, it is inelastic. When E equal to 1, it is elastic, perfectly elastic. E is equal to half means it is imperfectly elastic. Okay. So they ask you to find their velocities. So in the class, we have derived the velocity formulas. V1 square and V2 square. So now we are going to substitute these values in that formula and derive the velocities. Okay, solution. We derived that V1 square is equal to U1 cos alpha 1 into M1 minus EM2 plus M2 U2 cos alpha 2 into 1 plus E the whole square divided by M1 plus M2 the whole square. In addition to that, there is another term that is U1 square sine square alpha 1. So now we are going to substitute all the values and find V1 square. So it will be our U1 is 4 and cos alpha 1. Cos alpha 1 is nothing but cos 30 degree and M1 minus EM2. M1 is 8 grams, E is half and M2 is 4 grams plus M2 into, so 4 grams into U2. Your U2 is 2, so into 2 into cos alpha 2 is cos 60 degree into 1 plus 1 by 2 divided by M1 plus M2. M1 is 8 grams and M2 is 4 grams, the whole square plus U1 square. U1 is 4, so 4 square into sine square. Alpha 1 is 30, so it is 30 degree. We know the value for cos 30, cos 60 and sin 30. So we are going to substitute these values. So it will be 4 into cos 30 degrees root 3 by 2 and 8 minus 4 by 2. So 4 by 2 will be 2. 8 minus 2 is 6 plus 4 into 2 into cos 60 is 1 by 2 and 1 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 3 by 2 the whole square divided by 8 plus 4 is 12, so it is 12 square. plus 4 square is 16 and sine square 30. Sine 30 is nothing but 1 by 2 the whole square. So it will be this 4 and 2 will get cancelled. We'll get 12 root 3 plus this 2 and 2 will get cancelled and remaining you will have 2. 2 3s are 6. So plus 6 the square divided by 12 square is nothing but 144 plus 16 into 1 by 4. When these two terms get cancelled, it will be 4. So see, it is a plus b the whole square. So we are going to expand the term so that we'll find the answer. Or else we can directly substitute the value of root 3. We know root 3 is equal to 1.732. So you can substitute the value. So it will be 12 into 1.732 plus 6 the whole square divided by 144 plus 1. Finally, it will be 8.982. So our V1 square is equal to 8.982. So in the second part, we are going to see the V2 square. Okay, we know the formula for V2 square. So we are going to substitute the values of M1, U1, alpha 1, M2, U2, alpha 2 in V2 formula. So the formula is V2 square is equal to U2 cos alpha 2 into M2 minus EM1 plus M1 U1 cos alpha 1 into 1 plus E the whole square divided by M1 plus M2 the whole square plus U2 square sin square alpha 2, so which is equal to, we know U2 is equal to 2, so it will be 2 cos alpha 2 is 60 degree, so cos 60 degree, and your M2 is 4, right, and minus E is half, M1 is 8 plus M1 is 8, U1 is 4 and cos alpha, so cos alpha 1 is cos 30 degree into 1 plus 3 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2 the whole square divided by M1 plus M2 the whole square. So M1 is 8 and M2 is 4, so 8 plus 4 the whole square plus U2 square. U2 is nothing but 2, so it will be 2 square sin square 60 degree. Okay, so we are going to substitute the values. So it will be 2 into cos 60 is 1 by 2 and it is 2 and 2 and 8 will get cancelled, so it will be 4. 4 minus 4 is 0, so 0 into anything will be 0, so the complete term will be 0 plus 8 4s are 12 and cos 30 degrees root 3 by 2 into 1 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 3 by 2 the whole square divided by 8 plus 4 is 12, so it is 12 square plus 4 into sin square 60 is nothing but root 3 by 2 the whole square, so it will be 2 will be 4, 4 3s are 12, so it will be 3 3s are 9 root 3 the whole square divided by 144 plus 4 into 3, root 3 square is 3 by 2, 2 square is 4, so it will be 4 and 4 will get cancelled, remaining 3 only there. So 9 square is 81. is equal to 2 into cos 60 degree is nothing but root 3 . So which is equal to 4 minus 4, this term will be 0, 0 into anything will be 0, so you won't get the first term, so you will have the remaining term, 8 4s are 32, so it will be 32 into cos 30 degree is nothing but 1 by 2, sorry root 3 by 2 into 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2 the whole square divided by 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 square is 144 plus 2 square is 4 and sin 60 degree is root 3 by 2 the whole square, which is equal to this 2 and 32 will get cancelled, remaining will get 16 and 2 and 16 will get cancelled, remaining will get 8. So 8 3s are 24 into root 3 divided by the whole square divided by 144 into 4 plus 4 into 3 by 4. So this 4 and 4 will get cancelled. So root 3 square is 3. So we'll have 3 in your hand. Remaining it will be 24 square. 24 can be written as 2 into 12, right? So it will be 2 into 12 into 2 into 12 because it is square. And root 3 square will be 3 divided by 144 plus 3. So this 12 and 12 again 144 will get cancelled. 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So 12 plus 3 is 15. So 15 is the final velocity, that is V2 square. So V2 is equal to square root of 15 centimeter per second. So we already found V1. Our V1 is equal to, that is 8.92, and when you take a square root it will be nearly 3. So or else you can write it as square root of 8.98 centimeter per second. So these are the final velocities. So the second problem is, a smooth sphere of mass m impinges obliquely on a smooth sphere of mass capital M which is at rest. Show that if m is equal to E capital M, the direction of motion after impact are right angles. So we are going to prove that the direction of motion after impact at right angles. So we are going to prove that that is 90 degree. Okay. So and they have given some conditions. M is equal to E into capital M. Okay. And there are two spheres. The first sphere is sphere 1 and second is sphere 2. So the first sphere is of mass m. Okay. So m1 is equal to m. The second sphere of mass capital M. So m2 is equal to capital M. Okay. And they have mentioned that the second sphere is at rest. So when it is at rest, there won't be any velocities, initial velocities, right? So the u2 will be 0. And since it is rest, there is no angle. So it is alpha 2 is 0. And it is rest, so there won't be any final velocity angle displacement also. So it will be theta 2 is equal to 0. So u2 equals 0, alpha 2 is equal to 0, theta 2 is equal to 0. So we are having m1 is equal to m. Okay, and you are having your u1 and alpha 1 because that is the sphere is moving. So you are having your initial velocity u1 and alpha 1, the inclined angle. Okay. So when we consider with the velocity with some angle, we used to do with the u1, u2 along with the cos theta and sin theta combination. So after applying the conditions, your u1 is equal to u1 cos alpha 1. Usually in general you will write u1 is equal to u1 cos alpha 1 and u2 is equal to u2 cos alpha 2 and v1 is equal to v1 cos theta 1. v2 is equal to v2 cos theta 2. Okay. But in this particular problem, u1 is u1 and cos alpha 1 is there, so it will be u1 cos alpha 1. And in u2 will be 0, right? So when you substitute here, it will the complete term will be 0. So this u2 is equal to 0. V1 is there, and cos theta 1 is there, because after impinges there is some angle displacement, so it will be theta 1. So V1 cos theta 1, which is equal to V2 cos theta 2. So instead of theta 2 you don't have sign. Cos 0 is 1, so you'll have only V2, so it will be V2. So these are the terms we are having instead of U1, U2, V1 and V2. So we are going to use the two formulas. The first one is Newton's law. The second one is conservation of momentum. So solution. I am going to proceed as in the lecture. Like in the lecture video, we have seen it is first we substitute in Newton's law, then we are using conservation momentum, and we combine these two together. Okay, so the Newton's law is V2 minus V1 divided by U2 minus U1 is equal to minus E. So what is our, okay, it is V. What is V2? V2 is V2. So V2 minus V1. V1 is V1 cos theta 1. V1 cos theta 1 divided by U2. U2 is 0. And U1 cos theta, U1 is U1 cos alpha 1. So it will be U1 cos alpha 1 equal to minus E. When this term go to the another side, it will be V2 minus V1 cos theta 1. Minus into minus will be plus. So it will be E U1 cos alpha 1. Mark it as equation 1. Okay. Next we are going to use the conservation of momentum. So in conservation of momentum, we are having mass and velocity relationship. Conservation of momentum. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Okay, we are going to substitute in this. So m1 is m, so small m, and v1 is v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 is capital M and v2 is v2. Again m1 is small m1, u1 is 0 plus m2 is capital M, u2 is 0. Here it is, sorry, this will be u1 cos alpha 1. Okay, so m into u1 cos alpha 1. Finally you get m into v1 cos theta 1 plus capital M v2 is equal to small m u1 cos alpha 1, which is equation 2. Okay, so we are having two equations. To find v1 and v2, we have to multiply the equation 1 with m2 or m1, then you will find the value. And we have the condition with us, m is equal to E into capital M, right? So to prove, like we are going to solve these terms, and we are going to find our theta 1 is having some relationship with alpha 1 with 90 degree, right? So I am multiplying the first equation with capital M, so it will gives you capital M into V2 minus capital M into V1 cos theta 1 is equal to E into capital M into U1 cos alpha 1. Similarly, the second equation will be capital M into V2 plus small m into V1 cos theta 1 equal to small m into U1 into cos alpha 1. So when I subtract these two equations, it will be minus m V2 minus m V1 cos theta 1 minus m U1 cos alpha 1. So these two terms will cancel, and totally there is a negative sign, so negative. And v1 cos theta 1 is common, so I am taking outside v1 cos theta 1, and when take the negative sign outside, these terms will be positive, so capital M plus small m, which is equal to, and u1 cos alpha 1 is common, so u1 cos alpha 1, and remaining you have E into capital M minus small m. But we are having some relationship which is in the question. So in the question they are given it is small m is equal to E into capital M, right? So when I find the value of this, 0 is equal to Em minus small m. So when this small m go to the other side, that will be negative. So Em into Em minus small m. So this term is 0. So this term is 0. So the left hand side will be completely 0. So we can write this as V1 cos theta 1 is equal to U1 cos alpha 1 into Em minus m divided by capital M plus small m, and we know this term is completely 0. 0 into anything will be 0. So V1 cos theta 1 equal to 0. And V1 is the velocity. Velocity cannot be 0. So cos theta 1 may be 0. So cos theta 1 equal to 0. So cos theta 1 equal to 0, which implies that theta 1 is equal to 90 degree. So we find that the direction of motion M is perpendicular to the line of the normal. Okay, so the direction of motion of small m is perpendicular to A. That's it. Problem. Two equal elastic balls moving in opposite parallel direction which equal speeds impinge on one another if the inclination of their direction of motion on the line of centers be tan inverse of root E, where E is the coefficient of restitution. Show that their direction of motion will be turned through a right angle. So we are going to prove that the direction of motion will be turned into some right angle. So right angle in the sense it will be either a relationship with alpha in terms of 90 degree. So that is what we are going to prove. Okay. So there are two spheres. They have given that opposite parallel direction with equal speeds. So they have given the speeds are equal. So suppose I am considering this with the velocity u in one direction, and in another ball it will be act in a opposite direction but the same velocity. So when the first ball having the initial velocity is u, the second ball is having the initial velocity is u, but the direction is different. So we are considering that as minus u. Okay, and the angle of inclination for the first one and the second one are same. Okay, so it will be alpha and alpha, and angle of projection it will be theta 1 for the first sphere or first ball, and it will be theta 2 for the second ball, and so the final velocity will be v2 and v1. Okay, so from this we can derive the values which we know, like u1 is equal to u and m1 is equal to m. Alpha 1, instead of alpha 1 we considering that as alpha, so it will be u1 is equal to u1 cos alpha and sin alpha also. So the relation when it is necessary to using this particular position, we can use the angle. So alpha 1 is equal to alpha. For the second one, u2 is equal to minus u because it is in the opposite direction. m2 is equal to m, the mass of the ball, and alpha 2 is equal to alpha. Right? So now we are going to use all these things, and they have given that E is the coefficient of restitution. So and it is the angle of inclination. So alpha is equal to tan inverse of root E. That is what they have given. So alpha is equal to tan inverse of root E. That is inclination angle, and E is the coefficient of restitution. So we are going to prove that theta 1 and theta 2 are turned to 90 degree. Right? So we know that V1 sin theta 1 is equal to u1 sin alpha 1. So instead of u1 it is u only, right? So v1 sin theta 1 is equal to u sin alpha 1. So you can mark it as equation 1. So the second equation we know that v2 sin theta 2 is equal to u2 sin alpha 1. Okay, it is alpha 2. So it will be v2 is V2 is V2. So U2 is minus U, and alpha 2 you can write in terms of alpha. So it will be V2 sine theta 2 is equal to U sine alpha. And here it is minus U because we are having it as minus U, right? U2 is minus U. So minus U. Mark it as equation 2, right? Next one is Newton's law. So Newton's law, it will be V2 cos theta 2 minus V1 cos theta 1 is equal to minus E into U2 cos alpha 2 minus U1 cos alpha 1. So which implies that V2 is V2 only, so V2, and cos theta 2 is also there, so V2 cos theta 2, and V1 is in the direction V1 cos theta 1 equal to minus E into U2 is minus U, so minus U cos alpha minus plus U cos alpha. So there are two minus U cos alpha, it will be minus 2 cos U, minus 2U cos alpha. So minus of minus will be plus, so finally you will get 2EU cos alpha. Okay, so V2 cos theta 2 minus V1 cos theta 1 equal to 2EU cos alpha. Mark it as equation 3. Then fourth one, conservation of momentum. So we know that m1 v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2 equal to m1 u1 cos alpha 1 plus m2 u2 cos alpha 2. So instead of m1 it is m, instead of m2 also it is m. So we can write it as m v1 cos theta 1 plus m v2 cos theta 2. Here also m1 will be m and u1 is u. So u cos alpha minus m2 is m, u2 is minus u. So I have put minus u cos alpha 2 is alpha. So these two will get cancelled. M is common so that you can take outside. M into v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2 equal to 0. See, m is mass. Mass cannot be equal to 0. So this term must be equal to 0. So v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2 must be equal to 0. Mark it as equation 4. So from the equation 3rd and 4, we can derive v1 cos theta 1 and we can substitute those values in equation 1 and 2. We can derive that value in terms of tan theta. So that is what we are going to do. So our third equation is v1 cos theta 1, sorry it is actually minus v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2 is equal to 2EU cos alpha. When you add these two terms together, it will be 2v2 cos theta 2 equal to 2EU cos alpha. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So v2 cos theta 2 is equal to EU cos alpha. Fourth equation is v1 cos theta 1 plus v2 cos theta 2 equal to 0. So v2 cos theta 2 is EU cos alpha, right? So v1 cos theta 1 plus EU cos alpha equal to 0. So v1 cos theta 1 equal to minus EU cos alpha. So mark it as equation 5. You can write this as equation 5. So it will be 6. Okay. So it will be v2 cos theta 2 and v1 cos theta 1. We derived these two equations and we already know what is v1 sin theta 1 and v2 sin theta 2. So now we are going to divide these two equations to derive tan theta 1 and tan theta 2. So your first equation with sixth equation, your first equation having v1 sin theta 1, so the numerator will be v1 sin theta 1, and we know that it is u sin alpha. Okay, and the sixth equation is v1 cos theta 1, and that is equal to minus eu cos alpha. So u and u will get cancelled, v1 and v1 will get cancelled, sin theta 1 cos theta 1 will be tan theta 1, which is equal to minus 1 by e tan alpha, right? And in the question they have given that alpha is equal to alpha is equal to tan inverse of root e, right? So that I can substitute here. So it will be minus 1 by e tan of, instead of alpha I can write it as tan inverse of root e. So tan and tan inverse will get cancelled. You will have minus 1 by e into root e. So the denominator can be written as the 2e. So minus 1 by root e into root e, and numerator will be another root e. That root e will get cancelled. So minus 1 by root e. From this you can derive that tan alpha is equal to root e, right? So what is your root e? It will be tan alpha, right? So minus 1 by tan alpha. So minus 1 by tan alpha is nothing but minus cot alpha. So cot alpha, that is negative cot alpha, can be written as tan of 90 degree plus alpha. So your tan theta 1 is equal to tan of 90 degree plus alpha. Mark it as equation 7. So now we are going to find tan theta 2. So second equation divided by the seventh equation. So it is v2 sin theta 2 divided by v2 cos theta 2, that is equal to u sin alpha divided by eu cos alpha. So u and u will get cancelled, v2 will get cancelled. So tan theta 2 is equal to 1 by e tan alpha. So 1 by e and it is tan alpha. So 1 by e into tan alpha is nothing but root e. So root e and 1 by e will get cancelled. So finally you will have 1 by root e. Root e can be written as tan alpha. So this can be written as 1 by tan alpha. So 1 by tan alpha is nothing but cot alpha. So cot alpha can be written as tan of 90 degree minus alpha. So tan theta 2 is in terms of tan 90 degree minus alpha. So from this we derive that theta 1 and theta 2 are having some perpendicular relationship with alpha, that is 90 degree plus alpha. So in the question they ask to prove that the direction of motion will be turned through right angles. So we proved that the direction of motion turned through right angles. So the direction of motion turned to right angles. So the next problem, in this problem they have given it as two equal billiards ball are in contact on a smooth table along a third ball moving along their common tangents, strike them simultaneously. Prove that 3 by 5 into 1 minus e square of its kinetic energy is lost by the impact, e is being the coefficient of restitution for each pair of balls. Okay, so that is what we are going to prove. So we are considering these are the two balls which are at rest, B and C, and A is the ball which is impinges, and the initial velocity is u and final velocity is v, which is acting in the common normal. Okay, so the force acting in the direction. So when considering the initial velocity and final velocity, where B and C are at rest, so they don't have any initial velocity. That means initial velocity. So A is having initial velocity as u. So it is u1 initial velocity is u, and here the ball second ball, so it is u2 is 0, and C is the third ball. it doesn't have any initial velocity, so it will be 0. According to the final velocity, the ball strikes at u, and it having some velocity, final velocity is v. So our final velocity v1 is equal to u for the ball A, and B and C are both having same velocity, so v2 is equal to v1, actually it is v, and v3 is equal to v1 because they are having same velocity. Then conservation of momentum. That is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 plus m3 u3. We know when there is two balls, we have m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to equal to m2 v2 plus m1 v1. So here there are three balls, so m1 u1 plus m2 u2 plus m3 u3 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus m3 v3. Okay, so they have given that equal billiards ball, so the mass of the ball are same, right? So we consider that as m. So m is into u1 is u plus m2 is m, u2 is 0 plus m3 is m, u3 is also 0, which is equal to m1 is m, v1 is small v, and m2 is m, v2 is v1, and m3 is m, v3 is v. So m is common in both the terms, so we can take outside. 0 into m will be 0. So this in the in the left hand side, you will have mu is equal to m into v plus, there are 2 v1, so 2 v1, m and m will get cancelled. So you'll have u is equal to v plus 2 v1. Mark it as equation 1. Because when you turn up the loss of kinetic energy derivation, you used to have this conservation of momentum and Newton's law. Next we are going to use Newton's law. Okay. In Newton's law, we are having v2 minus v1 is equal to minus e into u2 minus u1. By substituting in that formula, you'll have v1 minus v into cos 30 degree, okay, because the two sides are equal, which is equal to minus e into 0 minus u into cos 30 degree. Because the final velocity of B is 0, we are considering this only for the ball A and B. Okay, so in v2 is v1 and v cos 30 degree, because we are considering the angle as 30 degree, because two sides are equal. That means the forces acting on a ball, two balls which are at rest, right, B and C, that angle are same, like they are 30 degree and 30 degree. So it is minus e into 0 minus u cos 30 degree. So it will be v1 minus v into cos 30 degree is nothing but root 3 by 2, which is equal to minus into minus plus eu cos 30 degree. So eu cos 30 degree is eu into cos 30 is root 3 by 2, right? So the 2 is common, so you have to multiply with this, so it will be 2v1 minus root 3v is equal to eu root 3. Mark it as equation 2. So when you solve these two equations, you will find what is v, what is v1 in terms of u. So we'll have v1 and v. So we are going to find v and v1. To find v and v1 in terms of u. So I am multiplying the first equation with root 3. It will gives you root 3v plus 3v1 is equal to root 3u. The second equation, it is minus root 3v plus 2v1 is equal to eu root 3. So when you add these two, it will be 0, and 5v1 is equal to, u is common, you can take outside, root 3 is also common, the remaining is 1 plus e. So v1 is equal to root 3 by 5 into, it is root 3. root 3 by 5 into u into 1 plus e. Okay, we found v1. Next we are going to find v. So multiply the first equation with the 2. So it will be 2v plus 2 root 3 v1, that is equal to 2u. And you multiply the second equation with root 3. It will gives you 2 root 3 v1 minus 3v is equal to e into 3 into u. So we are just multiplying 3. So it will be e3u. And to cancel out the root 2 root 3 v1, we just change the sign. So these two terms will get cancelled. You'll get 5, right? 5v is equal to, u is common, you can take outside, and remaining term is 2 minus 3. So your v is equal to u into 2 minus 3 divided by 5. Okay. So now we are going to substitute in laws of kinetic energy. We know the formula. So whenever we do the problem, we used to add the values of the kinetic energy and we subtract the loss of the kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy, which is equal to total kinetic energy initially and total kinetic energy, that is finally what we are having. So in the initial kinetic energy, we know that two balls at rest. So we don't have any kinetic energy at the ball B and C. So we are having kinetic energy only in the ball A, and that too half into m into u square, right? Mass is same and the initial velocity is u, so it is u square. Put a minus sign, and we are having kinetic velocity for two terms. B and C are same, so half into m into kinetic energy for the first ball A is half into m into, instead of u we have to write v square because it is final velocity. Similarly, half into m into v1 square for the second ball. This is for ball A and this is for ball B, and for the ball C is also half into m into v1 square. Okay, so now we are having half into m into u square, v square and v1 square. So we can convert this v1 square and v square in terms of u, so that we'll find everything in terms of u, and half is common in all the terms and u is also common, so you can take that outside. Sorry, m is also common, so half m, remaining terms are u square minus v square minus 2v1 square. Okay, so these are the terms. So half and m are common. I have taken outside. You just multiply this negative with each and every term. So we'll get half into m into u square minus v square minus 2v1 square. Okay. Now we are going to substitute the value of v1 and v here. So it will be half into m into u square. You can keep as it is minus. Your v square is nothing but u into 2 minus 3e divided by 5 the whole square minus 2 into v1 square is u into root 3 by 5 into 1 plus e the whole square, right? Yes. So in all the term u is there, and u, when you make it a square it will be u square. So half into m into, you know, the denominator will be 5 square, that is 25, so that you can multiply the numerator and denominator in the 25 the first term. So it will be 25 u square divided by 25, it will not change the value, minus u square into, so 2 minus 3e the whole square, right? So it will be a minus b the whole square. So 4 plus 9e square, that is a square plus b square, minus 2 into 2 into 3. So already 2 is there, 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12e. Okay, that is also negative, divided by 25. Minus 2 divided by 25, and u will be u square. Root 3 square is 3 and 1 plus e square, we can 1 plus e the whole square, so we can expand it as 1 plus e square plus 2e, right? So 25 is common, so that you can take that outside. So this will be half into m into 1 by 25, and u square is also common, so that you can take outside u square. Remaining terms are 25 minus 4 minus 9e square plus 12e, right? And minus 6e square minus 12e. These are the terms we are having inside the bracket. I just take outside the 1 by 25 and u square. Remaining 25 is here. And when you multiply with a negative sign, the negative and positive will interchange. So positive 4 will be negative 4, positive 9 will be negative 9, and negative 12 will be positive 12. And when you multiply with negative these terms, 2 3s are 6. So 6 into 1 will be 6, and negative sign is there. And 6 into e square is minus 6e square, and 6 2s are 12, 12e. So positive 12e and negative 12e will get cancelled, right? So it will be half into m into u square by 25. So we are going to do the process. So this is minus 4 minus 6, so it is minus 10, and here it is 25. 25 minus 10 will be 15, right? Similarly, we are having minus 9e square and minus 6e square. So minus 9 minus 6 will be minus 15e square. So in both the term 15 is common, so that you can take outside 1 by 2 into m into u square into 15 divided by 25 into 1 minus e square, right? So when this 15 and 25 will get cancelled, it will be 3 by 5. So 1 half into m into u square. This is the kinetic energy for the ball A, right? So that is the initial velocity, initial kinetic energy. So half into m into u square into 3 by 5 into 1 minus e square. So the initial kinetic energy, into 3 by 5 into 1 minus e square, that is what we have to prove. So finally we prove this also. So in this unit you learn what is oblique impact and what are the velocities when the two smooth spheres impinges, and what is the loss of kinetic energy. So these are the point which we derived in the theory class, and in the problem also we use these concepts and we derive the loss of kinetic energy and some velocities and some relationship also. So we'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you.